Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 12 minutes past 9 on Thursday night. I'm in the Knightsbrook Hotel and Golf Resort in Trim, County Meath. We just had the last supper a while ago, and I don't think there must be any pints tonight. He's gone to bed. But a long enough day again on the road. We had the breakfast in Belfast at 8 o'clock. Got out of Dodge City straight away. We went straight to Newgrange. Couldn't get in. Couldn't even to pay individually. You have to go to someplace near Dunor and pay a bus trip that takes 3 hours. So that was a total no-no. So they allowed us just in the distance to take a couple of photographs. That's all. He was happy enough to do that. Then we went to Slane Castle. There was a few cars waiting outside the gate. The next thing, these electronic gates shot across and down we went. And Henry was out at the door. Henry and Alex, and seen us coming, and he said, "Come in, put on the kettle. We'll have a drop of tea, and we'll talk about music and horses." I'm dreaming on, haven't I? But they're still gathering up from the concert. What do you call him? I can't remember. Harry something was there. Took a few photographs at the fine castle. I was there at Bruce Springsteen many moons ago. Haven't been there in a good while since. But we came up to the gate. Gates were closed. Waited maybe 7 or 8 minutes and went out and looked to see was there anything I could press. No, because unless there was a code. So I had to Google Slane Castle. There was a phone number. I rang and I said to her, "I'm trying to get out." "Oh, you're leaving us?" I said, "I'm leaving, yes, unless you have a better suggestion." And she said, "I'll open the gate." So, and she just hung up. That was it. I don't know if that's the general way of getting out or not, or I don't know. We went on then to the Hill of Slane. He was absolutely fascinated by that altogether. And there was a heap of young men and women, must be new age crowd, in tents. There was at least 30 or 40 tents in different areas there. They weren't worried about doing a day's work anyway, a lot of them. And the smell of pot was all over the place. They were happy out. We went to the Hill of Tara, then same thing round there. It's great scenery altogether. That's the sort of crack he was looking for. And we went to Bective Abbey, another great building to view. And we took in St. Mary's Abbey then in Trim. And John never seen a nettle before, so he was walking down and he rubbed a few of them. I could rub a plant in the garden, and the next thing was a bit of a yelp out of him. I said, "What happened, you?" And he said, "Something hit me or stung me." And I said, "The nettles." He never knew that there was such a thing. So I said, "They make great soup." Because the next thing he Googled it anyway, and he says, "You're right, they're great for the doctor's remedy." And we finished up in Trim Castle. That was in the afternoon. I missed the first race anyway, and second race. I didn't miss them. I was listening to them, but I couldn't watch them. And that's the sightseeing over for the night. So we had the dinner there in the evening, and we had the dessert, and he had a couple of pints. And Chennai. So we're breakfast 8:30 in the morning, and then I'm dropping him to Dublin Airport. He's boarding at 1 o'clock tomorrow, so he'd want to be there probably at 10:30, he said earlier. So that's it. So I was able to. The only race I saw was the Gold Cup. I made sure I'd see that, and I thought Coltrane was going to do the bizzo for us at coming round the turn. Just he got outstayed. Didn't seem to get home. Looked all over a winner. I think traded 1 to 2, but a 4-year-old, another 4-year-old wins. That's the stat. You see that there's the only one. The other 4-year-old I thought was better actually was Eldorov. I done the reverse forecast with them too, but had the wrong one in. And back Frankie for the second time this week, no good. And then he goes out and he beats us like when we don't back him. But tomorrow, I spent the last hour and a half trying to get an each way lucky 15 put together. There's a few short ones tomorrow, and there's no point me coming on tipping short ones. So I went through several videos in the hope that that we might get a few. We have several places this week, and if we got a few places tomorrow, we'll be in Clover, because they're all big prices. 40 to 1, 225s, and a 20 to 1. So I explained the reason to you why. In the 305 we have a hot shot here, Little Big Bear, and that more than likely is on Forum. It'll win because the Forum got franked by Branwell. Branwell was nearly 10 lengths behind in the Sandy Lane Stakes, and that won this week. But I was looking for something with a bit of value. They're paying 4 places on this, and there's, even though I think it's only 13 runners now, but they're still paying 4. But I came down an Ocean Quest for Jessica. I see 14s with Betfred, but it's 20s with 365. I put on a bet a few minutes ago. It won a Maiden first time out. Second to Treasure Trove in the Group 3, but it won on heavy ground at 5.5, and then the last day in a Group 3 on good ground. It was drawn the wrong side to the pace, but it finished very strong. It's on the very left of the field as we look at this, and the Antarctic is on the right.
Maria Branwell, then Chartash getting reminders is Clever and Cool, followed by Thunderbird and Ocean Jewel, Tori Vega, Apache Outlaw Song Forever's dropped away, and then 5 stand side. It is Ocean Quest who's come to head them from Maui Wowie, running Cool, Apricot Twist fades, and they're followed by Nightcliff, but it's the Antarctic in front over on the far side as they race up towards the finish. Ocean Jewel bursting through Ocean Quest, the near side, the Antarctic from Ocean Jewel.
So good finish and burst there, and being out of Sioux Nation won't mind the ground, top of the ground. The next race I looked at was the 340. This again is a competitive open affair, but the last year, a 4-year-old won a drawn 18. The year before, a 4-year-old drawn 19. 2 years before, the year before that was Scarlet Dragon, a 7-year-old. Baghdad was the year before, a 4-year-old drawn 12, and then a 4-year-old drawn 14. So a 4-year-old has won 4 out of the last 5, and you have to be drawn high. So I looked at a scatter of them, and the one that I came down on was Jack Darcy. He's 40 to 1. There was a 50 to 1 winner today and a 150 to 1 winner, so the big price still has a good chance. But this one is first 2 lifetime races, previous September and last July again, and then it was 4th behind New London, but it didn't settle the last day. It was behind King Conquest, but it was in a decent race. Decent horses around it. Now it's in the lead here, and even though it finishes 5 of 5, it's not beaten that far, but it'll want to settle a bit better tomorrow.
As they run down now towards the final half mile. So Jack Darcy out in the lead with Phantom Flight in second. In third, King of Conquest. Francesco Clemente is now making ground towards the outside, and El Drama in the yellow colours is last of all. 2.5 furlongs to go. Jack Darcy out on the front end. Phantom Flight, Francesco Clemente improving up the centre of the racecourse. King of Conquest towards the right. El Drama is now pulled out to try and deliver a challenge as well. Francesco Clemente will be forced to dig in because El Drama and King of Conquest are both challengers as they approach the final furlong, and King of Conquest on the inside has a narrow lead. Francesco Clemente about a head or so down is battling on with King of Conquest head to head. King of Conquest narrowly from Francesco Clemente, and it's King of Conquest.
Although it's not in the picture there, it wasn't beaten all that far. If it settles and the step up and trip should suit. It's a 40 to 1. I was trying to get a 4-year-old on high, and the other one that was close was White Wolf. We're back to the last year, but I was a bit disappointed the way it finished behind Misty Dancer at Chelmsford. The next one is the 5 o'clock. An open affair again. What did I come down on here? Drawn high the last 2 years as well. I came down on a horse that we won a few pound on the last day. Went up £3. Choisya. And I think I said after the last time, I said he sort of looked to the left and that there might be a bit more in it. This is a 2 from the rail.
Paul Roger is last of all, and they're heading for the last quarter of a mile. Choisya, Yellow Jacket, putting it up to Venetian. Indiana B has had to switch out in behind alongside Dawn at Castle, then Good Gracious. Just bringing it has got work on. It's Choisya and Venetian trading punches inside the furlong. Good Gracious, Red Cap running on in behind. Choisya lugging into Venetian, who's very game up the fence. This could go either way. Choisya and Venetian in a thriller, chased home by Dawn.
I said we'd back that again next time, and that's the reason I'm sticking that in. Now, look, it's an open affair as well. It's outrageous hard to come down on one that could be in the reckoning. And in the last race, the 6:10. A decent horse has won this always. Changing of the Guard won it last year. Alan Kerr won it the year before. Pile Driver, Japan. Eagle Top won it way back. Nathaniel, Campanologist. So, what did I come down on here? Now this is another fly indictment. Walbank. It's his first run for this yard after leaving David Loughnane, but has ran twice in Ascot and ran pretty decent. So second to Noble Style, first time out, and then it won Maiden in York. But in the Norfolk last year, you remember this race with when the Riddler came across from the far side.
And Walbank poised as they come past halfway and run down towards the 2. Walbank just getting a squeeze now from Ross O'Ryan. Bakil is driven, Jungle Fever weakening, Pillow Talk trying to come into it, the Antarctic 2 from the right, the extreme right, Thundermore and Brave Nation picking up ground as well. And on the extreme left, the Riddler is very competitive as they now run inside the last furlong. And the Riddler over on the far side, Brave Nation is finishing strongly. Walbank is still in the thick of it. The three of them come together here. The Riddler just getting on top, close to the finish. And the Riddler and Paul Hannigan go on to win the Norfolk. Denying Walbank is close for second with Crispy Cat.
It changed yards recently, but it was third in the Molecombe as well last year in Goodwood. So it's a decent yoke. Now, I'm hoping that it ran well fresh first time out, the new yard, that it might. There was money for the last year, went off second favourite. So there's the 4 that for an each way, small each way, lucky 15. If it clicks, it clicks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There was nothing. There was no bus horses bar one. There's a couple elsewhere in other yards or other races tomorrow. I'll shake them up in the morning. Or I might shake them up tonight because I'm not going out. It's only 9:30 now. Looking forward to seeing Accum out on Saturday in the Hardwick. It's only 13 dates up to 4. So that'll be the highlight of the week. They'll be singing and dancing in Ireland, and the people will be happy again if Accum can do the business for us on Saturday. I'll be at home tomorrow evening. Bash the bookies over and out.